I'm 40 and I'm single and I live in a van now, so it's probably going to stay that way.
I'm single. I'm 41. I'm not in the dating pool trying to date right now.
As an over 40-year-old woman, the first thing is comparing myself to younger or other women, especially on social media.
Attributes that being a mature woman gives you, you'll no longer hear that clock ticking in the background.
If you do not have to do things for men.
I was crying because I was tired.
Never been in a relationship. And at this point, it's starting to become a problem.
Welcome back to More to Life. Before I get into this video, like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get into this.
I'm 24 years old and I've never had a boyfriend. Never been in a relationship. And at this point, it's starting to become a problem. Like at this point, I'm at the point where it's like, why? Not what's wrong with me, because there's nothing wrong with me. And even if it was, it doesn't matter. Because I done seen what you can deem the ugliest person with a significant other. Whatever you deem the worst looking in this world that could possibly happen has had a significant other. It's not looks. It's not personality, because it's niggas like Donald Trump that is married. It don't matter what you look like, how you act.
Hold up. You mentioned Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a social elite. Like, you can't compare yourself to even women like, oh, the Queen of England. Like, no, you can't throw names out there. Big names. You're not in the same playing field. But let me hear what she says.
There is a million people on this earth that's been in a relationship. At this point, I'm a 24-year-old woman. And I have nothing more to give. At this point, I just don't know. Like, I need someone to tell me something. Someone need to tell me something. Like, is there a sign that it's becoming unhinged at this point? Like, because at this point now, it's like when I do get my first relationship, which hopefully 2025, when I do get in said relationship, is that even going to be the one that's going to be my marriage? And I'm almost going to be 25 years old. That's not even going to be my one. I already know. Like, I'm a realist. Come on. You think my first relationship is going to be the only one? Now I'm going to be a 24-year-old going through her first official real breakup. Like, I've been with it's been stages, but like a real breakup, real relationship, real deal spiel. I'm going to be a 24-year-old girl going through what she should have went through when she was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, I'm not going for that. I don't want that. But I have no choice. Hopefully it's a one and done, but let's be realistic.
Wow. Actually, this is a situation where she's been cursed. Maybe she had a father that was around and guarded her too well, kept her off the pole, out of any man's control, away from a man's soul. This, like, her father kept her away. She has to have a father. If she doesn't, you've been too closed off. Like, mama kept you closed off. You believed all men were the devil. I don't know what it is, but there's a problem here. You're not a man, so I can't say you should have tried something, but you should have tried something. You should have tried to dress sex something, because you don't look like you dress sexy at all. Also, put some contacts in. The bifocals and that head wrap you're wearing turn me away. I would never talk to you looking how you look right now. That's real. If you had the glasses with no head wrap, do something with your hair. Why do you have that bonnet on? Oh, I've never been talked to. I'm 25 and I'm looking at you and seeing exactly why you haven't been talked to. That's a problem. You got to get better. Do better.
So if you're single and you're 40,
over 27, unmarried, female, what do you call this list?
you may feel like you've missed your window of opportunity.
剩女, which means leftover women.
But I'm here to tell you that there is no window.
If you're single and you're 40, you definitely miss your window of opportunity. Or you definitely pass it up. But let her finish.
but there is a door that's open for you to walk through as long as you're open to walking through it. And I know that dating over 40 is hard. And in most cases, the challenges come because you are a complex, more diverse and dynamic woman than you were in your 20s or 30s.
A diverse, more complex sounds like more problems and headaches. Guys know that. You develop so many standards that no man can tolerate you.
And instead of comparing your 40-year-old self or your 50, 60-year-old self to that 30-year-old version of you, that 20-year-old version of you, you first have to learn to embrace all of who you are right now and let go of any of who you used to be. Because as long as you're holding on to an antiquated idea of how you are supposed to show up in the dating world, in the dating pool, or in your dating life, you are going to feel like you're missing something, like there is a window that can potentially close on you. But once you recognize that there are specific attributes that being a mature woman gives you, and you own that fully, you'll no longer hear that clock ticking in the background.
Tick-tock. Tick-tock indeed.
So you're telling them to own that fully, who they are, but then you just said, whatever you're doing, don't do it because that's not working. Like, you're speaking against yourself. I don't think, am I wrong? Did she just say not to do something and then say to do it? I think I'm bugging. That's what it sounded like to me.
Open up your world to more high value men and high quality candidates who will show up and who will want to give you the type of commitment and exclusivity that you're looking for. But it starts with changing your thoughts, changing your belief systems, and creating a new way of stepping out into the world in order to attract the type of partner who is ready for who you are today and not looking for who you were yesterday. And I'm here to help you do that as a relationship.
She's here to help you do that. She said, a woman over 40 is going to be open to a high value man. High value men aren't interested in women over 40.
It's delusional.
They're interested in someone younger, hot, not woman with crows. I know she's not for display, but not woman with crows in her head, or some of the next ladies that's going to show, that I'm going to show.
Relationship readiness coach for Black women and successful women of color. I help you create a foundation on which to stand on today as your full, mature adult self instead of chasing a past ghost version of yourself. If you'd like to learn more about working with me, tap the link in my bio and book a complimentary discovery call.
Yeah, I don't think I would book a complimentary discovery call because you just went against what you said and didn't realize it. And how is a woman over 40 going to be open up to a high value man? Seriously, like, I guess it's going to work. And she probably has a lot of consultations because women don't use logic in their thinking. They don't. That's what I'll be thinking first. Like, wait a minute. I'm 40. I'm over 40. I'm supposed to get a high value man, a high value older man who's most likely going to be married. Or if he's not married, he wants someone younger. Or he probably got his passport and went overseas. Fraggy.
I am a single 41-year-old woman.
Here we go again.
Single mom at that. And to some people, to lots of men, I realize that means I've jumped the shark and I'm not eligible for love. What the hell? Let us talk about it. Because guess what? I'm single, I'm 41, but I'm not looking. No, I'm not in the dating pool trying to date right now.
We do not care.
So let's talk about where I am in life, why I'm single right now, and why the hell I'm not looking for a man.
Why does someone want to talk about it with you? You said you're not looking for a man, then why did you make this video? Like, it makes no sense. The video is short. What are you trying to do? What's the whole point behind the video? Like, what are you trying to accomplish by making this video? That you don't need a man? But I'm sure you're fiending at night? I get it. She got vibrators and dildos and different things. She's just walking around. She got the walking vibrator. Like,
Not listening. I'm not listening.
I don't need a man. Turned into like turned into a demon. I don't need demon.
I'm 40 and I'm single and I live in a van now, so it's probably gonna stay that way. But I went on a date in Santa Fe and I can finally talk about it. I walked up to the table and the guy's looking at his phone, and then he looks at me, and then he looked back down at his phone for like 5 minutes, and that's the first time I should have left. Then he tells me that he's poly and he already has 2 girlfriends, which is fine. Live your life the way you want to, but maybe that would have been nice to know. But the whole time he's hounding me about my accent, and I know it's kind of crazy, but like he was just really focusing in on any kind of words I was saying weird, and it was making me so self-conscious. And I usually don't get self-conscious, but he was making me so self-conscious. And then I reached over my plate of food and a hair fell off of my shirt into the food, and I had to pull it out. Like I had to. So I did, and he was like gagging, and it was so embarrassing. But I had to pull the hair out, right? Then we split the $30 bill, of course. And as we were walking out, he asked me what my first impression of him was, and I was just going to be nice because I figured I would never see him again. And I was like, oh, I just thought you were really handsome. And I was like, what was your first impression of me? And he said, you have really chaotic energy and crazy hair.
Man, oh man.
And everything.
You do though. I'm looking at you now. You have chaotic energy and crazy hair. That's what I read off of you as soon as you started the video. Chaotic. You look like you're ready to get in a poly relationship, actually. That's probably why he asked you right away. That man has no respect for you because clearly you have no respect for yourself.
That I had been feeling for the past 2 hours just like culminated, and I started crying. Talk about chaotic energy. I gave this guy a hug, like I couldn't control it. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I was like, it's okay. Just good luck in life. So God just wants me to be single forever, and that is perfectly fine. And I just want to say I was crying because I was tired. I was really tired.
If you haven't gone to a therapist as of yet, visit one, because you crying uncontrollably like that during a date because a man said the obvious is wild. You're gonna have a hard time dating. I think you should get out of the date market and go to a therapist ASAP. You need serious help.
As I head into 2025, here's a list of things as an over 40-year-old woman I will no longer be doing. The first thing is comparing myself to younger or other women, especially on social media, and to focus on my unique journey and sharing those experiences with others.
That's your competition. I know it's hard. That's why she does it. You compare yourself to younger women because you're wondering why are guys picking these younger women, because they're younger. That's why.
The second is skipping self-care. I will stop neglecting my needs, whether it's skincare, rest, or other activities I love. I'm going back to getting my monthly massages and my weekly infrared sauna visits. And lastly, if you can believe it, this will be the hardest. It's reducing my fast fashion consumption. I want to shop secondhand or vintage first and prioritize quality over quantity by investing in well-made, timeless pieces that will last. What are some of the things that you will no longer be doing in 2025? I would love to hear them. Bye.
Yeah, guys are probably saying no longer dating women over 40. You just said I will no longer think about younger women as the first thing. That's wild. It shows your head is in the gutter. You're struggling. You're struggling to find a man. And you're talking about having fashion, timeless timepieces that are vintage. Like, your mind is all the way in the gutter. She said, okay, for 2025, I'm going to put my mind more in the gutter. I'm not going to focus on the young girls. I'm more about timeless timepieces. I can tell you don't have a man from what you said. I'm not going to worry about these young women. And I'm going to worry about timeless timepieces. Wow.
See, one of the best pieces of advice I'll give all the men out there this 2025 is date women that actually like you. Stop chasing women you're trying to impress, women that don't like you at first, or women that you feel like you have to spend your money on. Because when you do that, you are failing nobody but yourself. You see, One of the best pieces of advice I got was Maiwa, or Michael for some of you that know me. They said, why do you like dating women that don't like you? And I had to sit down and think about that statement, because it's not like I wasn't dating baddies or found women and all that. But genuinely, those girls I were dating, they didn't like me the way I liked them. And then the girls that liked me the way they're supposed to like me, I'll push away. So I'm going to take accountability and say it wasn't just the women, it was me. I was making poor decisions on women I dated. Yes, you could see my roster. Oh, fine girl, fine girl, fine girl. But the emotional trauma and stress these women put me through, when it's like, there are girls that genuinely like me, and I'll mess with these girls, right? But eventually my insecurities or so will start taking over, and I'll push those women away. Do you know how much peace of mind I could have had in my life if I was just messing with the girls that genuinely like me? Like now at this age, peace of mind. My life is beautiful. God is good. I know better. But the amount of years I wasted on nonsense bad boys, don't do it to yourself. This 2025, date a woman that likes you. So even when you're spending money on her, you're not even feeling it.
So true. I didn't learn that until I hit my mid to late 20s, about 28. And then by 34, I was out in the Philippines. But that's what actually made me choose my wife. Is at first, I fell into a shock. I said, why does she like me so much? Why does she? And then I said, no, that's what you want. I woke up like, because seriously, I was contemplating if I should continue dating her. And then I said, why is she sweating me like this and this? And I said, it's a good thing she's sweating you. You want somebody that's not sweating you? You just came from that. That's what you're leaving. That's what you're running away from. Wake up. Hello. And I finally realized this is what I need to be. This is a position I need to put myself in.
The girl that canceled her 30th birthday trip to Paris because she feels so fulfilled with her boyfriend. I'm sorry, I don't mean this to be like a hating video, but I feel like I could speak to this because I too am turning 30. And I too booked a trip for my 30th birthday, and I'm never going to cancel that.
Wait a minute. So you probably most likely don't have a man, but the girl canceled a girl's trip because of her man, and you're hating on her. That's why she has a man. Like, am I dreaming?
Armin could literally knock on my door right now, give me everything that I want. He could probably give me $1 million, and I still would go on my trip. I scrolled so fast, like after I realized what the video was, and then I started seeing a couple other videos talking about it. So I'm like, okay, maybe let me go back to the video. And it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. Again, like I don't want to hate. I don't want to hate. But this just speaks to me because I'm on the same level. And trust me, like I feel just as fulfilled without a boyfriend. But when you look back on your life, when you're in your 60s, your 70s, you're going to look back on when you turned 30. Because that's really one of the most like pivotal times of your life. Your 20s are great, but like 30 you're going to remember forever. And you're going to look back on it and you're going to be like, I should have went to Paris. And all the comments are, telling her that she should still go. She's like, no, with a heart.
Why should she have gone to Paris? So she can meet Pierre? That's why you want to go, right? I'm going to go there and meet Pierre, and I'm going to bang him. And Pierre probably got 5,000 bodies because he's banging all the American woman that want to come to Paris. Pierre's going to bend her over the bridge at 4 a.m. She's like that. Jessica, yeah, Pierre. Dirtbag. Grimy. Low down. Reminds me of an Honest song. Shifty. Low down, gritty, and grimy. That's her.
And then also, some of the comments are like, girl, did you never watch The Hills with Lauren Conrad? And she's like, I'm only 29, so that like wasn't on my radar. Like, we're the demographic for The Hills. Are you kidding? Never stop your life for a man. That's all I have to say.
The feminism has taught this woman wrong. That girl did the right thing.
This is to the girl who canceled her 30th birthday trip to stay at home with her man. I will not be another woman on the internet piling on you, telling you you did the wrong thing. But what I really hope for you is, whether this is a happy relationship or it runs its course, that at some point you make a video that says, guys, come with me to my solo trip to Paris, and I hope you have the best time, and I hope you never curve life-changing experiences for anyone.
More. See, If this was a married woman, I think the girl should be concerned. I think she should be like, "Wow, I really shouldn't have done that." Not a disgruntled married woman, not a disgruntled married woman, but a normal married woman, because she's gonna say, "Ask a married woman, did she do the right thing?" They're gonna say, "Yes, you did." Because if you would have went on that girls trip, you wouldn't have a man. What's the big hoopla?
My point exactly.
Seriously, like, wake me up. I must be sleeping.
I haven't watched the video. I've just seen a lot of commentary about it. I was going to also tell her the same thing that everyone's saying, which is you'll regret it. Don't do it. Don't, change your life for a man. But actually, go ahead if that's how you want to live your life. Me, personally, I've decentered men. Meaning, you don't do anything for male gaze, for male attention, to impress a man. And there are people who have not. Our society has conditioned us to do almost everything in our lives for men. So it actually makes a ton of sense that that girl is canceling her 30th birthday trip to Paris for a man. And that's fine, right? Like, at this point, if I've learned anything in my 30s is people are going to choose the life that they want to live, and you really cannot convince them otherwise. So she's probably not going to hear any of the women who are making videos saying, babe, you're going to regret it. But maybe you might hear me say this, and there is another way to live your life. You do not have to do things for men.
For my new single life checklist.
They're all true or false, straight up. Because why can't she take a 30-year-old birthday trip to Paris with her man? Why is she doing it alone? Sounds like Sex in the City to me.
I was kind of ashamed to come on here and admit the fact that I had a huge birthday trip planned for.
She shouldn't be ashamed, but I do think she will be full of regret. In the video, the woman's talking about the fact that for her 30th birthday party, she had planned for a while now a trip to Paris. She decided to cancel the trip because she's now in a relationship, and she says she feels so happy and fulfilled she doesn't need that anymore. Look, I love love as much as the next person, but one, you should be happy and fulfilled, no matter what your relationship status is. That brings me to my second point, which is relationships are supposed to add to an already great life. They are not supposed to subtract. And by subtract, they should not take away from you doing things that you had already planned for yourself. They should not take away from you accomplishing goals. They should not take away from you having friendships and hobbies outside of the relationship. It is not only fine, but it is healthy to have some separate interests, some separate hobbies, and time apart. I am married and I travel solo.
She belongs to the streets.
And yes, without my husband, because both of us, although we love our time together, we also value that time apart. It gives us a chance to miss each other and all of that. So while I think it is great that she found a relationship and that she is happy, I would hate to see a situation in which she allows being in a relationship with someone now to completely isolate her from the things that she loved before.
Really, it does. That's what it sounds like. Because she could bring her man. Why can't she? I haven't heard one lady give that suggestion. Why is that suggestion not being given? There's a reason. There's a reason.
Girl, listen. Personally, I don't believe that sis canceled her 30th birthday to Paris because she just wanted to be underneath her man and she's fulfilled and all this type of stuff. Because if you had a trip already planned, everything's already together, the man only got to add his name to it. Okay, you gonna book your flight. Finally. You gonna come. Like, everything's already set. So, to me personally, I think it was a financial situation. I think financially, either she maybe couldn't do it no more, he couldn't do it no more, because I did see she said that they just moved in together. That ain't cheap, and I get that, but I truly believe that was the reason. Because to me, if you want to be underneath your man, you're fulfilled 100%, that's great, but you can also do that on the way to Paris. You know what I'm saying? Why would you not want to go to Paris? And I feel like we know that life, him and all that type of stuff, the house, the apartment, whatever, it's gonna be there when you come back. So for you to do that and completely cancel it, I personally think it was because of financial situations. But she didn't want to say it like that. For whatever reason, she wanted to put it on, oh, I'm so fulfilled and I just want to be home and I just want to da-da-da. But It just don't make any sense to me. I just don't understand why he just couldn't be added to the trip and y'all still go. Unless you just did not want to go to Paris no more. Like, I just don't care to go to Paris. I don't want to. Which I still think is crazy because if you've been planning it for this long and your birthday is like, what, like maybe a month or two away, this is something you've been wanting to do for a little second. So I don't know how you just one day just be like, okay, I don't want to do it no more. Unless, once again, it is because financially it's just not a good time. Which I understand. That makes sense. That really makes sense. Really.
First one that had made a little bit of sense. Why couldn't you just take your man? It had to be because of financial issues. And I say the same thing. I don't know if that's the case. Maybe she wanted to go without a man and get her back blown out. Because that's usually the scenario. A woman go on a trip with her friends. Okay, you're going to get your back blown out. You're going to where? Vegas? Back blown out. Jamaica? Back blown out. Where you going? New York? Back blown out. Miami? Back blown out. Seriously. Paris? Same thing. That's a destination trip to get your back blown out. They all, to a man, they all equal up to the same thing. But this one made a lot more sense. She wasn't thinking with that 3 or 4 mindset. I like her. She may be decent. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know her, so who knows?
Put a finger down if you were in this 10-year soul tie with your baby daddy ever since high school. And as you got older, you decided that you didn't want to be entangled in that soul tie anymore. So you decided to go on a 3-day water fast for God to break the chains of the soul tie. You went on the water fast from Friday, Saturday to Sunday. And by the time Sunday came and the fast was completed, you decided to go to church. When you got to church, your pastor was not preaching. It was another lady there preaching. At the end of her sermon, everybody came up to the altar. She prayed over everybody, but she skipped you. When she finally got to you, she laid hands on you and she spoke these words. Mind you, you've never met this lady in your whole entire life. And she looked at you and she said, the soul tie that you've been fasting for is broken. And you immediately burst out into tears. And she began to put her hand on your belly and says, all God needs from you is a yes. And at that moment, you were delivered from everything that you were battling. You left church and you were super, super excited to serve the Lord in the best way that you knew how. And so a couple days later passed by and your baby daddy comes back around and he's acting like Prince Charming, but you knew it was a trick of the enemy, but you just didn't want to believe it because this is the person that you wanted to be with your whole entire life. And he's acting like a Prince Charming now. So why not? Let's give it a shot. So you end up giving it a chance, even though you heard God tell you, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. But you wanted your family so bad and you wanted your relationship to work because you really love this man so much. So y'all end up moving in together and it was good at first, but then suddenly all hell started to break loose and you found out that he was cheating on you with multiple women and he cheated on you on Valentine's Day and he cheated on you during Christmas time and he was just cheating on you. So as the year went on, the relationship got worse and worse and worse and worse. And you spent most of your days crying, depressed and stressed out, asking God to pull you out of the relationship. But you didn't really want him to pull you out of the relationship because every time he showed you something, you wouldn't leave. Then your daughter's birthday comes around and you caught him sending a video of your daughter to another girl, but he thought you didn't see it, but you definitely saw it. So then as the months go on, he decides that he has to go on a business trip. Y'all were already on bad terms, so you ask him, could you go on the business trip with him? He says no. So in your mind, you like, something is up. So when he comes home that day, he has a fresh mani and pedi, and he has got his down there area all nice and shaved and cleaned up when he usually doesn't do that. So you ask him about it and he's like, man, what are you talking about? I always do this. So he goes on the business trip and you guys barely talked that whole weekend and he didn't really try to reach out to you and you were really pissed off, so you didn't really try to reach out to him. And so when he got back, it was almost time for you guys to move into your new home because we needed to upsize our home because at the time,
Man, this girl has issues. She needs to find them out. She's going on explaining her situation. Says she went to church and a woman knew her situation. Cap. So she's telling the story, and I'm thinking, man, we've came this far to where now they're making up stories. Because that was made up. She making up a story for 7 minutes for TikTok views. Dangerous. You have to be careful when you reacting to certain things because she was going on and on and on. And I'm thinking like, you just kind of trying to collect the bag. I bet you there's 5 more stories like that, 10 more stories. she's talking. I'm just like, this is made up. But yeah, guys, it's wild out there. Gotta be careful. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell to be sure you get my videos as soon as I release them. Thank you for watching. See you next video.